Hello friends, I'm delighted to be with you today and sharing of this idea on manifestation. Certainly one of my favorite topics and one of the topics that is very helpful to all of us. We understand that we live in an abundant universe, and we understand that God is the source of all of our good. The question comes down to, how do we make God's good become our three-dimensional good in our current circumstance? Whether it's money, relationships, health, vitality, well-being, how is it that we manifest our heart's desire? So there's a story from the Bible that really speaks to us, kind of hits us a little hard in the heart, but is very, very telling. I'm going to read to you today from Mark 8:14-21. This is Jesus speaking to his disciples, and he says the following. He says, "Now the disciples had forgotten to bring any bread, and they had only one loaf with them in the boat. And he cautioned them, saying, 'Watch out, beware the yeast of the Pharisees and the yeast of Herod.' And they said to one another, 'It is because we have no bread.' And becoming aware of it, Jesus said to them, 'Why are you talking about having no bread? Do you still not perceive or understand? Are your hearts hardened? Do you have eyes and fail to see? Do you have ears and fail to hear? Do you not remember when I broke the 5 loaves of the 5,000? How many baskets full of broken pieces did you collect?' And they said to him, 12. And the 7 of the 4,000, how many baskets full of broken pieces did you collect? And they said to him, 7. Then he said to them, 'Do you not yet understand?'" Do you not yet understand? Boy, and that's hard because, you're reading that and you're thinking, maybe I don't understand. Maybe I don't quite get what this is all about. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Like I said, we believe we live in an abundant universe. We believe that God is the source of all good. And the question becomes then, how do we get in the space to make that good our three-dimensional reality? How do we bring it into manifestation? Well, it's easy to say faith, which is absolutely true, but how do we activate that faith? What is the key? What is it that Jesus is referring to when he says, "Do you not yet understand?" Because here we have some testimony from these disciples who have been with Jesus when he was trying to feed the 5,000, 5 loaves, 3 fishes, had an abundance left over. 12 baskets left over of broken pieces with only 5 loaves and 3 fishes for 5,000 people. How is that possible? They had witnessed this. And Jesus had, tried to teach them what's going on, how to make that manifest. And yet they're still complaining on the boat that they didn't bring the bread. He says, "Do you not yet understand? Do you have eyes and you fail to see? Do you have ears and you fail to hear? Are you not getting it?" Boy, sometimes I feel like that I'm not getting it. So let's go to the beginning. We understand that we are spiritual beings. And science will tell us that we are vibrational beings, that the atoms of our body are in constant motion, they're in vibration. And that goes perfectly in line with what we teach spiritually. Because what we understand is the way in which our body is vibrating, the frequency that we're holding, the energy that we're holding, is going to be an attracting force to what it is that we want to manifest. It's relatively simple. It's simple to explain, to say, sometimes a little difficult to do, but that's what this is all about. So what we understand is that if we are vibrational beings, what we need to be very aware of is our emotions. Yes, we have thoughts, but our emotions are the key to manifestation. Let me repeat that. The emotions are key to our manifestation, because it is, emotions are energy in motion. And so the feeling that we hold is key to what it is we're going to attract into our life. We have thoughts that can help us with that feeling nature, but ultimately it is the feeling nature that's going to attract to us that which we want. And so Jesus told them, "Do you have not eyes to see?" So if we want to use this technique, if we want to activate it in our lives, we need to be clear about what we're feeling. We cannot talk about drought and expect to attract rain to ourselves. Right? We can't be talking about what's missing in our life and expect it to show up. What we need to do is adjust our emotions to get into the feeling of that which we want to manifest. So you might ask yourself the question, if you're feeling lost, what does it feel like to be found? If you're feeling confused, what does it feel like to be certain or to know? If you're feeling poor, what does it feel like to be rich? And what you need to do is get into that vibrational energy of what it feels like to be rich, to be certain, to be found. And so that's the key to attracting. That's what all of this law of attraction is all about these days. Jesus talked about it. Thoughts held in mind produce after their kind, absolutely, but it is the feeling nature that is the key to the power of manifestation. And so when Jesus was faced with that challenge, what he understood is that he was going to look like, he had 5 loaves of bread, 3 fishes, what he looked like is not to where the bread and the fish were not. How am I going to feed these people? He's not going to look to the places where it's not, and it was not in the dimensional reality. Where it was in divine potential. And he brought it forth through the activation of a feeling nature which brought the manifestation immediately into expression. He got into the full awareness that there is plenty. Thank you, God. There is enough. There is bread and fish. And he felt it and he knew it so profoundly that the manifestation was immediate. And that's what we need to do. We need to get into that place of our heart's desire, that which we're wanting to manifest. We're wanting to know that it is already here. We're feeling as if it is already here. The feeling nature, friends, is the absolute key to the manifestation. Some of you may say, well, that's all well and good, but how do I get there? Because all I feel is fear and concern and worry, and that's true. But that's our spiritual work, you see. That's our prayer work. That's our meditation work. There's all these techniques that we have, emotional freedom technique. We have the gratitude list that we make at night to help us get into a gratitude space. We work ways to take affirmations and work them, deny the fear, deny the concern, deny the worry has any power over us, and affirm the abundance, affirm the good, but get into the feeling nature of what that is. Because we know and we understand the more gratitude you have, the more you'll be grateful for. The more love you hold, the more love will be surrounding you. The more fear you have, the more fear you're going to be dealing with. The more concern, the more worry. It just continually attracts that which you hold. So we're conscious of our emotional vibration throughout the day. We're holding on to our heart's desire, and we're knowing absolutely that that which we're holding is coming into manifestation because we're holding it. That, my friends, is faith. That which is yet unseen is made manifest through feeling as if it is already here. Recently I had a marvelous manifestation of been working hard on knowing the truth of a situation, and magically, like those loaves and fishes, the situation was transformed through a lot of inner work, knowing and feeling the truth of what I was wanting to manifest in my life. So dear friends, this is what Jesus is talking to us about. Do you understand? Do you understand this concept that you are a vibrational being? That your emotions are emotions that are energy set into motion? Are you fixing those emotions? Are you aware of what you're feeling? And are you making the corrective efforts to get into a space of feeling good, of feeling joyful, of feeling grateful, of feeling abundant, of feeling peaceful, of feeling loved, of all of these good things, of feeling good throughout the day? That's going to attract more and more blessings and good into your life. Do you understand? Yes, we understand. Thank you, God. This is Juan Enrique Toro reminding you that life is consciousness and that consciousness is life.